Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm a little behind, obviously, because got home from work late, but I'm here and doing my best to get things back into the norm. Anyway, how y'all doing? I hope you had a good weekend. I certainly did. I spent most of it. What did I do? Oh, we did our trail stop stream Saturday, and then I spent a good part of my afternoon prepping for my furniture sale, so to speak. You know what I mean? I had did a little furniture sale, and I didn't sell a whole lot of it, but I sold enough to at least make up the investment I've had in this little avocation so far, and that's a good start. And I still got a lot of stuff that has to go, but it was kind of fun, and actually ended up selling a couple things that we didn't even have on sale, and that was weird because I had some stuff sitting there that I forgot. I kind of put it off the side thinking, this is not even part of it. And someone said, hey, you want to sell that? And I'm like, yeah, we've been trying to get rid of that for years. Anyway, so happy Monday. There's a lot of news to get caught up on. I'm probably just going to go through the real short Reader's Digest version of everything here today. And if you're wondering about the thing about the puppies, well, I'm going to tell you about it right after after the intro. Johnny, play the intro. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. Alrighty then, stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel on this lovely Monday, the 25th of October, 2021. It's Halloween week. Everything else expands, so why not Halloween? I am excited about Halloween. I'm going to have fun with this year. We got our house mildly decorated, but the kids like our house because, excuse me, I need to sip a cup of my reparations here. The kids love our house because we give out full-size candy bars, and they know it. They know it, so they all make sure they hit our house. And then some of the older ones are smart enough to come back at the end of the night, knowing that we just dump whatever we have left. And the kids who come at around 8 or 8:30, which is our limit. Actually, our limit's probably 7 o'clock. Not 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock's usually when I say, nah, we're done. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm also, I finally put some of this furniture that I've been acquiring on Craigslist, and I got a couple projects that I'm working on. I should be doing before and after shots. I haven't been doing that so far. But the only thing that happened this weekend that kind of what's a good word? It put a little bit of crust over my eyes. This guy comes up and there's two of them. Well, I had a little like end table chest, drawers, and he's coming up. It clearly says on the side, all furniture. That's all, on our sign it says all furniture. That's the whole sale is furniture, nothing else. We're not selling any other shit. And he comes up and he starts looking at my garage. We don't have anything in the garage. Everything's out in the driveway, and we have a little knockout patio that's off the driveway, and we've got everything out there. He starts looking at my garage. He's like, it's all furniture. He's like, you got any bicycles? I'm like, dude, it's all furniture. It's all sitting out here. Everything you're looking at. Do you see any bicycles? But he looks at my garage and sees a couple bicycles hanging up. I'm like, first of all, that bicycle's my bicycle. That bicycle was my father-in-law's bicycle, but my wife rides it now. And then she has another bicycle that's a little more expensive one. But then I realized, oh my gosh, my daughter's bicycle's hanging up there. And it's one of those things where you look out there and you go, that bicycle's been there 10 years. 10 years. And my daughter doesn't even want it because she and her fiance or whatever, her husband, they bought new bicycles. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe we should just get rid of that bicycle. And I'm like, okay, you know what? We've been meaning to get rid of that for years. You can have that one. You know, this is all, the chain's all rusty and shit. It hasn't been ridden in years. And I was like, okay. You know, I thought, okay, did a good deed. Now come buy something. Then he looks at this little chest, this little kind of end table with the drawers in it. And he goes, would you take $1 for that? I'm like, are you serious, dude? Well, first, no. My first words out of my mouth were, don't insult me. And my wife goes, you just got a bicycle for free. I'm not taking $1 for that. It's like, come on. Anyway, ended up selling it later for $20. And that was just because I bundled it with another piece of furniture, and I said, you know what, you're buying this bigger piece, I'll give you that one for $20. And he's like, okay, cool. And then so that person was sane. And but I was like, oh God, I hate doing it garage sale style. So I'm gonna keep selling them on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. Where I get a little more money. Although, and then another guy, he comes down and he's like, you know, we had some of the old patio furniture that I was refinishing, and I was in the middle of it, and they looked like trash. And he's like, you know, I'm looking for some patio furniture for my son who lives up the street here. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, well, I don't think we have any for sale. He goes, well, what about that? I'm like, oh, this is something else. We were like, either finish it or try to get rid of it. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I guess we also have 2 tables that go with it because all the chairs were out there. I've been stripping them and sanding them, but they're just taking forever. And I'm like, ugh, sick of doing it. And we're like, oh, well, and he's like, well, how much you want for them? I said, I don't know, make an offer. And he goes, $200. I'm like, I'm not selling you for those for $200. I wouldn't make you pay that much. I said, no, how about 150? I talked him down from 200. So he buys that, and he's to get all that out stuff, and he goes and takes it. And then, I get to, and then his son and his daughter-in-law come down, and they're looking at a dresser, and I wasn't paying attention to my wife when she was talking to them about the dresser. And I went to go do something, and I come back, and this is one of the pieces that I actually finished. I redid, rehabbed it, finished it. Beautiful wood dresser, a nice gray with, dark wood top, and I redid all the hardware on it and stuff. And I was trying to get it like between $175 and $200 for it. Well, I wasn't listening to my wife, and I didn't have any markings on anything because we were just negotiating everything as we went along, and she sold it for $50 to the same guy who bought the yard furniture. And I'm like, she quoted him $50. I'm like, oh, fuck. But anyway, we weren't planning on selling the yard furniture. So really, I felt like, okay, I just turned it around. I got $150 for the dresser and $50 for the shit that we were going to probably throw it out anyway. So it turned out okay. But in the end, we sold a bunch of stuff, and I still have a bunch of stuff left, and I keep acquiring new stuff. And anyway, let's say good morning. Let's get to the news because this is taking too long. First, though, I'm not even prepared here. See, I got here late, and when I get home late, I don't always get everything ready at the right time. So give me a second here, and let me do not disturb on my phone so I don't get any damn phone calls. And let's see. Let me do this real quick. No. What am I doing? No. What the hell? Silly me. Just a second. God, dog, what the hell's going on here? There we go. Real quick. My first sponsor, by the way, is Baby Vaso. Thank you for sponsoring the show. And Baby Vaso,
you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor
of the day. Thank you, Baby Vaso, using the Streamlabs. Who says, is your name actually Marty, or is it Martin? Do your colleges all call you Marty? Colleagues. I'm assuming you mean colleagues. Any real life nicknames? Well, that's a very long story. I was born John Martin O'Connor. And then my parents changed my legal name when I was a child, but kept calling me Marty. And so, yes, my original middle name when I was born, because I was adopted when I was 4, but my mother did name me before I was given it for adoption, and it was John Martin O'Connor. And so Marty is the offshoot of my middle name from when I was born, even though that's not my name now. And I have so many names. I'm not going to go into that story now, but yes. So do my colleagues call me Marty? I'm assuming you meant that as opposed to colleges. Yeah, most people refer to me as Marty. And then there's a few people who refer to me as my legal name, which I'll just hold up on that right now. Anyway, so thank you, Baby Vaza, for sponsoring the show. Greatly appreciate you being a sponsor. Now, let's say good morning to the people who are here. So in the chat first today was Wikipedia Snippet Who Gets the Bell. Yes. Way to be quick on the draw. Also, good morning to Keaton, Somnambule Nation, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Also, good morning to Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
And Zach Osborne and Chicago Mike. Has in the house. Missed you. Nice to see you back. Also, good morning. Why are you so angry? Oops, I almost said happy. He said happy Monday. Why are you so angry? He said happy Monday. Also, good morning to Race Donald. Nice to see you. Advocatus Diablo, the Devil's Advocate. My favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies in the house. Also, good morning to Let's Go Brandon, aka Renee Mayette. Nice to see you. Good morning, Attack Alpaca. Good morning, Jonathan Peterson. Hello, Episkipos 5Z. Nice to see you. Episkipos. If you want to give me a phonetic spelling to make sure I'm not butchering that, welcome to the chat. Also, good morning to, let's see, is that Tyler F's in the house, Random Americans in the house, the Asian Research Directorate, Jedi Ghost Bear. Also, good morning to, is that everybody? K-Shaw's here. Nice to see you. Jen T's in the house. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Morning Night Live. Now, did I get everybody? Oh, Amy in Connecticut's here too. Hi. I see you there. All right, let's get into it. A whole lot to get to, and it's going to be just snippets today, but I have the full articles of everything I talk about will be in the chat by the end of the outro today. It will be in a single link called the One Tab link, and so if you want to get into more depth into some of the stuff I touch on today, you can do that. Episkipos. Oh my gosh, I'm trying. I really am. I could just call you 5Z because that might be easier. Episkipos or Episkipos. Okay, I'm 5Z is in the house. Nice to see you. All right. So the reference that I'm making about the puppies is oh good Lord, I don't give a this guy's. I'm arguing about the guy about Chesa Boudin, who the crime wave in San Francisco is because he's not prosecuting anybody, and there's a guy who's saying, oh well, he's firing all the bad prosecutors. Anyway, all right, let's talk about Dr. Anthony Fauci. He might be in trouble. He might finally actually be in trouble for something, but it's not for lying to Congress. It's not for funding research that we have chosen to not allow to be legal in the United States, and this funded another country. Good morning, Rusty Shaq. He might be in trouble because they're killing beagles. He paid for beagles to be tortured. Here it is. Dr. Dog Torture. Fauci funds a barbaric torture of beagle in a Tunisian lab. Now, this might cause him the actual problems that he should have been having since last year. Hello, Kessler. Quote, our investigators show that Fauci's National Institute of Health Division shipped part of a $375,800 grant to a lab in Tunisia to drug beetles and lock their heads in mesh cages filled with hungry sandflies so that the insects would eat them alive. The nonprofit White Coast Wait Project told reporters. They also locked beagles alone in cages in the desert overnight for 9 consecutive nights to use them as bait to attract infectious sandflies, all to test an experimental drug. Now, I don't know who White Coast Waste is, but they claim that some of the dogs had their vocal cords removed so the barking would not disturb the attending scientist. Representative Nancy Mace fired off a letter to the National Institute of Health calling the cordectomy cruel and a reprehensible misuse of taxpayer funds. Mace is a South Carolina Republican, but signatories to her letter included Democrats Cindy Axne, Steve Cohen, Jimmy Gomez, Josh Gottheimer, Ted Lieu, Mike Quigley, Lucille Roybal Allard, Terry Sewell, and Eleanor Holmes Norton, plus more than a dozen Republicans, including Representative Brian Fitzpatrick and Maria Salazar. So, little bipartisan beatdown, verbal, for Mr. Fauci and the NIH. It's funny, in a related cause that could use more bipartisan support, Dr. Fauci and his National Institute of Health, Allergy, and Infectious Diseases also are under fire for funding dangerous gain-of-function research. Oh, did they, though? Yeah, we talked about that last week. It's been confirmed that the lab in the country of origin that shall not be named was doing that gain-of-function research. I could have sworn in testimony before the Senate talking. In fact, I think he was talking to who's that senator? Rand Paul. What a name is whatever the hell that kind of name that is. He lied. They were under oath, or did they even put him under oath? I don't even see. Here's the thing. I don't know when he testified if they put him under oath. Now, could this be? Could this be the long-awaited downfall of Dr. Anthony Fauci? You know, the other part of this article that they put in here, by the way, good morning, Don Julio and Zombie Teddy. Nice to see you all here. In this article down here, they're talking about how Fauci earned a medical degree in 1966, but to avoid treating American soldiers in Vietnam, he hired on with the National Institute of Health in 1968 as one of their yellow berets. Fauci's bio shows no advanced degrees in molecular biology or biochemistry, but in 1984, he became director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Carrie Mullis, who earned a PhD in biochemistry from UC Berkeley and won a Nobel Prize for polymerase chain reaction, called Fauci unqualified for the job. Oh, really?
How dare you?
Really? He's unqualified for the job. You know, it's funny because he, I remember when I was reading about him, he's never really practiced medicine at all. which is interesting because he left med school, but got his medical degree, but they basically found a way not to go to Vietnam by becoming part of the National Institute of Health. Well, there's certainly ways. They're going after Bannon, but Fauci still left roaming the bathhouse after Syria mythonomical moments in front of Congress. Yeah, it's amazing. But you can read the rest of this because there's a whole lot more here. But yeah, so they drugged the dogs, stuck their heads in cages so they couldn't move their heads out of the cages, and try to see how the sandflies would eat them, and then trying to get some cure for some shit. I just wonder who does that kind of research. Well, apparently in Tunisia they do. Now, Fauci, for his own sake, has said over the weekend, though, that he said Senator Paul is incorrect. I never lied or misled about research. Really? Because I watched some of the questioning that they did to Dr. Fauci. In fact, I'm going to get an ad here, so I'll turn that down for a moment until the ad's over. This is rich, and I don't mean my friend from down under. This is rich. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases head Dr. Anthony Fauci claimed Sunday on ABC's This Week that he never lied or misled about the research funded by the National Institute of Health. That's weird because they came out with a letter and said that, yes, we did fund some gain-of-function research, although they were a little more nuanced about how they said it. Let's actually listen to Dr. Anthony Fauci, who, for whatever reason, has this just plateau level of reverence that I just don't fucking understand. Anyway, there's the first Effenheimer. I'm well into 10 minutes of the show. Here we go. Dr. Anthony Fauci. Here he is on ABC's This Week. We're going to listen to this 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the Terror Dome. Welcome to the Terror Dome. Talk about if he lied or not. Let's see what it's funny. I haven't seen this clip. I just saw I read the article earlier, but now I'm going to see the clip, and I want to see how much pressing George Stephanopoulos. I don't even know why I think he would, but maybe every once in a while, a dog finds a bone in the wild, and maybe George press him on this a little bit, because it was clearly Dr. Anthony Fauci lied. If you've seen the exchanges with Dr. Rand Paul, you know that Dr. Anthony Fauci lied his ass off.
You're a lying dog face pony soldier.
All right, let's see what Dr. Fauci has to say here.
Week or two of November.
The controversy over whether the U.S. was funding risky COVID research in Wuhan was kicked up again this week when the NIH released a letter about that research, which showed that the subcontractor had not disclosed some results in a timely manner.
Listen to how George phrases this. Is it a question, or is it telling you how to answer it? Good God. Listen to George here. Listen to George's bullshit. Listen, look at how he leads him.
Whether the U.S. was funding risky COVID research in Wuhan was kicked up again this week when the NIH released a letter about that research, which showed that the subcontractor had not disclosed some results in a timely manner.
Okay. So showed that the subcontractor did not disclose some results or whatever in a timely manner. Did they disclose it, and did the NIH know about it? A timely manner? What, George? Anyway, let's listen to these assholes have their little circle jerk.
Now, some critics and analysts have seized on that to say you and others have misled the public about U.S. funding of this so-called gain-of-function research. The NIH says that's false. Our medical unit backs that up.
Oh, our medical unit. ABC News' medical unit backs that up. Yes, because you are sycophants to anything that these fuckers say.
Paul stepped up that criticism in a new interview with Axios on HBO. Let's play it.
Oh, see. Is this a Republican's pounce?
President. Yeah, absolutely. The thing is just for lack of judgment, if nothing else. You know, he's probably never going to admit that he lied. He's going to continue to dissemble and try to work around the truth and massage the truth.
Yes, he will. Watch. Now let's watch him do it.
Respond to Senator Paul, but also explain what was the United States funding, what wasn't it funding, and why that's important.
Great question.
Well, I obviously totally disagree with Senator Paul.
Well, of course you do, you bitch. Oh, what the hell? What is this shit? Hang on a second. I don't want this on. I don't want to add in the middle of the freaking. Here, I'm going to turn that down. We'll wait till the ads, or wait till it gives me an opportunity to fucking. Oh my God. This pisses me off and it's got me swearing. Do you hear me? You heard? And this stupid commercial is going to go the whole damn 30 seconds. Oh, fucker. I hate you people. Breitbart, you've got to stop this shit. All right, here comes Dr. Fauci again with his bullshit. Maybe. Get off my screen, Hero Wars.
Incorrect. Neither I nor Dr. Francis Collins, the director of the NIH, lied or misled about what we've done. The framework under which we have guidance about the conduct of research that we've...
He said during he contradicted himself during the hearing. When he said, no, we weren't funding gain of function, we weren't funding any of this research, they weren't doing gain of function research, and then later said, well, there's gain of function research has a, you know, it's an important tool we use, and blah, 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 blah. God, oh, man.
The funding at the Wuhan Institute was to be able to determine what is out there in the environment in bat viruses in China. And the research was very strictly under what we call a framework of oversight of the type of research. And under those conditions, which we've explained very, very clearly, does not constitute research of gain of function.
Oh, my God. When you define gain of function research, and then you describe what they were doing that you say is not gain of function research, and you give the definition of gain of function research as your answer, they're doing it. Sorry, you lying piece of shit.
Of concern. There are people who interpret it that way, but when you look at the framework under which the guidance is, that is not the case. So I have to respectfully disagree with Senator Paul. He is not correct that we lied or misled the Congress. It's just not correct.
Why the fuck you lying?
Right, and it showed that what was being researched.
Now listen. So here's George again. George is supposed to be the journalist here, but he elaborates on Dr. Fauci's answer. Instead of asking a follow-up question or anything, he corroborates what Dr. Fauci says to help him. Listen to this. Listen to what George does immediately after Fauci finishes what he says here.
The Congress. It's just not correct, George. I'm sorry.
Right, and it showed that what was being researched was very far from the SARS-CoV virus, but it did show that the subcontractor did not release some results in a timely manner. What did we learn from the letter? Does it show that some of the research we were funding was riskier than we know?
No.
Thank you, Chicago Mike, by the way. With the sponsored show through Streamlabs and Chicago Mike.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
Hey, thank you, sir, for being a sponsor of the show, like you often do. And he said, Mike says, you just lied by saying you didn't lie or misinformed. Yeah, he did. Oh, good Lord. You did misinform because you were, even if you were wrong, that would be misinforming, right? Now, did you not intentionally misinform? I don't know. Don't care. God, I hate this guy. I really do.
Well, it is, and we knew what the risk was and what the oversight is. Certainly, they should have put their progress report in a timely manner. No,
it was just because they didn't put it in a timely manner.
Denial of that, and there will be administrative consequences of that. But one of the things that gets mixed up in this, George, and it really needs to be made clear to the American public, there's all of this concern about what's gain of function or what's not, with the implication that that research led to SARS-CoV-2.
Not. See, you are extrapolating that idea. Now, there are people who say, oh, could it have been? Well, gee, how do you know it didn't, Dr. Fauci? How do you know that it couldn't have been a part of this? How do you know, Dr. Fauci? What were they researching that this came about in the way it did? Anyway, he's
in COVID-19, which, George, unequivocally, anybody that knows anything about viral biology and phylogeny.
No true Scotsman would ever say that this could happen. Anyone who knows about virology, blah, 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 you weasel.
Viruses know that it is molecularly impossible for those viruses that were worked on to turn into SARS-CoV-2 because they were distant enough molecularly that no matter what you did to them, they could never, ever become SARS-CoV-2. And yet...
Oh, so you know where that came from and how they came about. Maybe you could tell us where it came from then, huh, Dr. Fauci?
And when people talk about gain of function, they make that implication, which I think is unconscionable to do, to say, well, maybe that research led to SARS-CoV-2.
Why not?
You can ask any person of good faith.
Really? Who? Who? Who would you ask, Dr. Fauci? Who would you ask? He's saying you could ask any person of good faith. Really? Name a couple. Any person of good faith. Are you saying that only people who maybe think of other possibilities are in bad faith? I'm curious as hell. You know what? I'm gonna change cups here because I think I have a different. I think this cup might be more appropriate for listening to Dr. Anthony Fauci because I don't really have hard feelings, and I'm not gonna listen to any more of this shit. This is crap. I'm not listening to any more of him. I don't want to act like I have any hard feelings for Dr. Fauci, and actually I think Dr. Fauci. I really truly hope that I really hope Dr. Anthony Fauci has a nice day. This is for you, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Have a nice day, sir. That was delicious. That was fantastic. Okay, I'm done with him. Well, I'm not done with him because there's more. But wait, there's more about wait, where'd it go? I had another one. Oh, where's my other one on Fauci? I must have accidentally closed it. Unless that's farther down here. By the way, the CDC. Oh, here we go. Here's the one that I wanted to go next. So anyway, Dr. Anthony Fauci is at least he's facing bipartisan congressional inquiry over NIH funding of horrifying experiments on beagle puppies. Some of the twisted experiments alleged to have been carried out, including putting puppies' heads in mesh containers and letting sandflies eat them alive. This past week has not been kind to Dr. Anthony Fauci. Republicans are clamoring for his investigation and resignation for funding gain-of-function experiments that almost certainly led to. Now, see this. Now, it's funny because this one is doing what Dr. Anthony Fauci said that they were doing, and he's saying that that's unconscionable. That no, there could never be research there that could have caused this. I mean, it just could not happen. It's impossible because some bullshit that he tries to go out there, but then where the fuck did it come from, Dr. Anthony Fauci? Anyway, Republicans are claiming for his investigations and resignation for funding gain-of-function research almost certainly led to SARS-CoV-2, a pathogen behind the COVID pandemic. But once the mighty gauntlet of mask and social distancing, the once mighty, gauntlet of mask and social distancing is facing public outcry from both the left and the right for funding an entirely different line of research. A bipartisan group of lawmakers want to interview Fauci about funding that was provided for cruel and unnecessary experiments on beagle puppies. So we just read about that. There's an article from The Hill that this is the horrific picture of what they were doing. I'm sorry, it's disturbing, but I have the Hill article pulled up. It'll be in the tabs too. But apparently, dozens of young beagles were being tortured and killed in this project. And so this is the letter from Nancy Mace I talked about earlier, and it's a seriously bipartisan letter, and they want to know what the fuck were y'all thinking. That's what they want to know. So you can read that one too, and then the Hill article, the changing about this puppy torture stuff. All right, let's move on. Because I've got a whole bunch to get to, and I'm just going to try to keep this short and sweet on each one of these. Indiana, the state of Indiana, is inviting Chicago cops who are being fired because of the Fauci juice mandate, and they're inviting them to switch departments. Come work in Indiana, Indianapolis, and East. What's the town just outside of Chicago on the Indiana border? Is that Gary? That's a scary town. Anyway, officials in Indiana are attempting to recruit Chicago police officers ready to quit their jobs over the Fauci juice mandate. As of last week, all Chicago police officers are required to provide proof of stab status or succumb to testing twice a week, according to Just the News, which is John Solomon's outfit. And I want to make sure that our officers who are literally working their tails off every single day, risking life and limb, are absolutely able to take advantage of this life-saving Fauci juice, Mayor Lightfoot has claimed. Those who refuse to comply could have their pay and standing suspended, consequences that have presented themselves to at least 21 officers so far. So far, close to 4,000 officers not yet shared their stupid juice status. So the state of Indiana says, hey, come on over. We could use your help over here. And, because Chicago doesn't need that many police officers anyway. It's such a calm and tranquil place. And nobody's ever murdered there in multiples of 8 every weekend. But anyway, so Indiana's going to start scooping those up. And in a similar theme, wait, that's the wrong one. Where's the one in oh shoot. I guess apparently this one's not here either. I got these out of order somehow. Well, we're just going to keep going because we got a whole lot to do here. Not a mask in sight. Chris Wallace is lamenting the lack of mask and social distancing at college football arenas, whatever you want to call them, stadiums. Not a mask in sight. Chris Wallace asked CDC director why packed football stadiums aren't creating spikes. Well, this is actually kind of a good question because they're not. And you're not hearing about these cases continue to decline, but health officials keep guard up as winter approaches. Okay, let's watch a little bit of this. Friggin' frack, another ad.
Which one of these?
Shut up, whoever you are. But I can at least skip this one. All right, here's Chris Wallace and Dr. Oh, no, wrong one. Come on, today. This one's only 12 seconds long. They're getting tricky with this shit. You used to be able to get through these things and they wouldn't have an ad in them and I wouldn't be mad, but anyway. All right, here we go.
Sports on TV these days, and if you watch sports, whether it's football games and stadiums or playoffs and baseball, you got some pictures up on the screen right now, Doctor. You see hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people all packed together,
and
not a mask in sight. I understand it's outdoors, but what does it tell you that there have not been spikes in most of these communities, when you have people crowded
you know what it tells me?
baseball.
I bet the words herd immunity does not come out of her mouth, because, you know, she's this woman here, Dr. Walensky, or whatever the hell her name is. She is chief fearmonger and authoritarian extraordinaire. She's the one who says that all the little kids should be wearing masks all the time in schools and stunting their development. And she's the one who she thinks this is, if you even smell you know, a whiff of the homeless guy over there with COVID, that you're going to die, because you're going to get it and you're going to die as one of the over 90 some million or whatever people who have had the coof and survived. I disagree with her. But anyway, let's continue here, because I'm just babbling now.
Baseball stadium.
Oh, by the way, good morning, Uncle Bad Touch.
Come on, man.
We know who you are. And also had Lord Stan. Hope you were here early, right? No, I don't know. I missed a few people. I saw Jonathan Peterson, or was it Jonas Pedersen? One of the Pedersen guys were here too. I hope you're still here. It was Justin Anderson. What am I saying? Anyway, hi Justin. Good morning to all of you. Anyway, all right, let's hear and Rusty Shaq. Hi. Let's listen to this crazy woman.
We would still encourage people who are unvaccinated to wear a mask in those situations, but given that these games are outdoors, that tends to be a much safer environment.
Why are her eyes open so wide? She doesn't like the question. She's like, I don't really have a good answer for this. Well, because they're outdoors. Okay, so good. Then we can go to outdoor concerts, outdoor, music events. You know what? In Iowa, because one of those pictures was the Iowa football game. I don't know that their vaccination rate is that high in Iowa, but they're sure at the Iowa football game.
Finally, the holidays.
Oh, wait, you know what they did? You know what? Oh, do you know what he didn't? He should have had a follow-up question, though. And there's a perfect follow-up question for that question and answer that she gave. They're outdoors and na. I can't understand why he didn't follow that up, because notice how he didn't. This is really disappointing. See, this is why I don't like even Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace, who thinks that Jen Psaki might be one of the press secretaries of all time. Anyway, he missed the perfect opportunity for a follow-up question. Dr. Walensky, you say that they are outdoors, right? And so does this mean that, maybe perhaps all these people outdoors do not cause transmission of the stupid 19 virus, and gives people the sudden urge to chant, "Let's go, Brandon"? What is your position on that? Let's go, Brandon. I'm sorry. What does she say? What does he say?
First of all, Halloween. What would you say that
Halloween? As if they didn't go out trick-or-treating last year. I think I had pretty much almost a record turnout at Halloween last year with kids coming out. And, because they were just like, fuck it, we're going out for Halloween. Kids aren't getting it. They're not dying from it, although some have, but it's been very minute numbers in the big picture, over a 2-year period, and probably about the same as the flu in normal years. But let's see what she says about Halloween. By the way, a lot of the kids were wearing masks on Halloween. Thank you. Thank you very much. I need a laugh track. Okay, here we go.
Can do and can't do.
I would say put on those costumes, stay outside, and enjoy your trick-or-treating.
Oh, such a happy
whether
answer.
People are vaccinated or not, as long as you're outside, you're safe?
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't gather in large settings outside and do screaming like you're seeing in those football games.
Oh, what kind of screaming? What kind of screaming, Dr. Walensky? What kind of screaming? Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
You're unvaccinated, those kids that are unvaccinated, but if you're spread out doing your trick-or-treating, that should be very safe for your children.
And what about Thanksgiving and Christmas?
What about it? Why are you asking these stupid-ass questions, Chris Wallace? God, you ass. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Anyway.
Sports on TV these days.
Oh,
and
shit,
if you want
before you gather, what
about
we know holidays and that we beat.
Hang on. What about
children.
And what about Thanksgiving and Christmas?
You know, it's critically important that we gather, that we be together with our family and friends during these holidays, and we have the prevention strategies that we know work to be safe.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't know they work. Why? Oh, God, you liar. Wow. What are the prevention strategies? I think the best prevention strategy is to allow for herd immunity to culminate across the country. And I probably shouldn't be saying this out loud. Sorry. I'm done going there.
Holidays. So what I would say is get yourself vaccinated before you gather. It will absolutely be safer if you're vaccinated. Any activity that is outdoors is safer than it is if it's indoors. And if you're gathering multiple households, make sure as many people are vaccinated as possible.
Oh, so sort of
you can protect the people who are vulnerable, who might not yet be vaccinated, our young children, our elderly.
Say the words.
And then do all those prevention strategies that we know work before you arrive and as you arrive to make sure that everybody can be safe for the holidays.
Oh, do you think they should bring vaccine passports to your house? You should require vaccine passports at your house. How about that? Jesse Leon, what's happening? Okay, I'm done with this. I don't want to hear any more about her. Next. So the CDC plans to, the CDC does plan, here, let me say this in the appropriate way. The CDC plans to educate and counsel the unvaccinated. Hello, Jason Arnold. With the CDC expanding eligibility for COVID-19 booster shots, endorsing both the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson juices, while also approving a mix and match approach to booster. Now, okay. Raise your hand somehow in the chat. Do you have confidence in the idea of the mix and match thing they're doing with the stupid juice? Is that just weird that they would even countenance that? Well, especially because the Moderna and the Pfizer, both the mRNA or whatever that acronym is, and the Johnson & Johnson is not. By the way, these aren't vaccines. These don't have trace of the disease, so you develop antibodies. These are basically synthetic form of developing antibodies, right? But the idea that you could mix and match some differently tailored Fauci juices, I mean, maybe in some way it makes sense, but have they even tested that idea? Like, actually tested the mix and match approach, or they just now just saying, go ahead and try the mix and match approach? They seem to be doing this for really weird reasons. Anyway, so also on Fox News Sunday, she said that during a 15-minute interview with host Chris Wallace, Walensky said booster shots do not change your vaccination status, despite reports late last week. I want to be clear about that, she said. We do not have a plan to change that definition right now. Asked about President Joe Biden's controversial comments during Thursday night's disastrous town hall about firing police and first responders who refused the Fauci juice, Walensky claims the most disruptive thing you could do to a workforce is to have a stupid 19 outbreak in that workforce. That would most definitely not only send people home, but will send people to the hospital, and some may pass. How about the ones who've already had it? See, oh, God, it's all about fear-mongering. Let me see what, do they even have a clip here? They don't have a clip here. Or do they? Is this a clip or not? Oh, that's the media. I'm not going to do Mediaite. Fuck Mediaite. I hate them. Anyway, she said, we do not, okay, regarding mandates, which have been continuously challenged and protested across all professions, she stuck to the White House's line in oversimplifications. Quote, What we know from police officers is there have been more deaths from coronavirus over the last year and a half than all other causes of death for that workforce combined. So we believe it's very important to get these people vaccinated. Well, let's get it. I don't disagree, especially people who are vulnerable, but requiring it and having mandates, give me a break. Anyway, there is a plan should these people not want to be jabbed toward education and counseling to get people the information they need so they are feeling comfortable in getting vaccinated. Not. Oh, God. Anyway, we can't get complacent yet, she reiterated. Okay. I mean, I get it. Yes, we want people to be vaccinated. I'm not even arguing that you shouldn't. But the idea that it's not a choice is antithetical to our way of life in the United States of America. So screw her. Good morning, Data Wasteland. All right. There's an article in the American Thinker about some of the overlooked facts about the stupid 19. And I'm just going to scroll down here. I mean, a couple things that coronaviruses have been around for a very long time. It was giving our ancient ancestors colds too. Humans have in fact lived with respiratory and other virus infections since prehistory. Medical science also calls the ability of the body to fight microbial bad actors its immune system. The fact that natural immunity had been common knowledge until the SARS-CoV-2 virus, responsible for the stupid 19 illness, initiated a pandemic that Klaus Schwab states in his book, COVID-19, The Great Reset. In fact, I'll just open that link, is one of the least deadly pandemics in the world has experienced in the last 2,000 years. That's a fascinating thought. It's one of the least deadly, and a lot of people died, but it's one of the least deadly pandemics the world has experienced over the last 2,000 years. And then the part in this, that you got to read this yourself, but the part of this that I found fascinating, that this is not, so let me go here. Where is this onset of medical insanity taking us? Well, it has evidently opened up a can of worms labeled the stupid juice, aka the COVID vaccine, a deceptive misnomer to begin with. This so-called vaccine does not contain a weakened form of the target pathogen intended to induce the development of antibodies against potentially serious invasions of that pathogen. A true vaccine assists the body's natural immunity or acquired immunity. I hate the term natural immunity, acquired immunity. This is not the case with the so-called stupid juice, a synthetic mRNA substitute for the body's natural immune system, and that the inventor of mRNA technology, Dr. Robert Malone, advises against taking. Dr. Malone states also that the, quote, fully vaccinated, end quote, are COVID super spreaders. Interesting. I'll open that one too. The routine claim that the stupid juice is effective against the infection is far from accurate, since available evidence indicates that hospitals are filling with vaccinated patients and asymptomatic people are suddenly becoming symptomatic after the jab of Fauci juice. And then they talk about the test, but there's all kinds of little things that you don't hear about about it. So you can check out this article in the American Thinker. It'll be in the tab. And then there's the idea of this article about the COVID-19, the Great Reset. You can check that one out. And then there's also this article that fully vaccinated are COVID super spreaders, says inventor of mRNA technology. And he's the guy who invented it, Dr. Robert Malone. So fascinating. If you're interested, you read that yourself. I'm not going to go into it. All right. Now, the former head of the FDA said a new variant could be coming and is more contagious, but unlikely to change the overall trajectory of cases, etc. On Sunday, former FDA commissioner and Pfizer board, and he's this is great, former FDA commissioner and Pfizer board member Dr. Scott Gottlieb appeared on CBS Face the Nation with host Margaret Brennan to discuss the latest on the stupid 19 variant. on the new one, as well as the jab efforts. So we're headed into respiratory virus season. Is this new version, this new Delta variant, something that has you concerned? What is the direction we're headed in? Brennan asked. Now, why is this from? Yeah, it's October 24th. So Gottlieb replied by noting that he doesn't believe the latest strain of Stupid 19, known by some as Delta Plus. Delta Plus. Get your Delta Plus at Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Delta Plus will really. He doesn't. Let's see. He doesn't believe that it will change the trajectory in which the country is moving, despite it possibly being more contagious. Yeah, it'll probably be, by the time we get to it, those of us who have survived the Stupid 19 probably won't get it, but I'm sure all those people who have been jabbed with the Pfizer that's worn off will probably get the Delta Plus. Brought to you at Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid pharmacies. Anyway, he says the new variant we think could be more contagious. I don't think it's enough to change the overall trajectory. My lament is that we're not better at figuring out these questions. I mean, we should have an answer to the question of just what the characteristics of this new variant are and what kind of risk it poses. We really don't have a coordinated system globally. We parcel out to certain academic groups where we're dependent upon certain academic researchers to do this kind of analysis. The UK is very good at identifying these new variants. They have better sequencing in place than we do, but we don't have a good follow-up in terms of the epidemiological work to try to figure out whether or not these new variants are spreading more aggressively. This one, if it is more contagious, it appears to be perhaps slightly more contagious. Again, the juice should be protective, and certainly people who are infected with Delta will be protected, probably against this new variant. So the people who get Delta will be have some acquired immunity to the Delta Plus, available at Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid pharmacies. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what I opened this for. Oh, this is interesting. So during the Thursday town hall meeting, actually with the Thursday's town hall taint cleaning meeting with CNN's Anderson Cooper, President Biden blithely dismissed the most basic assertion of those who have chosen to resist the Stupid 19 Fauci juice. Freedom? I have the freedom to kill you with my COVID, scoffed Biden, which we had a good, well, he can just fuck off. No, I mean, come on. Freedom? Oh, freedom? No, we don't. Freedom? Oh, you silly people. Anyway, in his literally mindless way, Biden said out loud what health officials everywhere have been implying since the Fauci juice became widely available. Those who are not stabbed are killing their more responsible peers. Wait a minute. I thought the Fauci juice was supposed to help you. It didn't? It's not helping you? Anyway. In the Republic of Ireland, however, health officials are running out of people to blame. This is becoming embarrassingly obvious in County Waterford. As reported in the Irish Times, the nation's establishment newspaper, two of the three most COVID-infected electoral areas in Ireland are located in the county, with the highest rate of vaccination in the country. In Waterford, a remarkable 99.7% of adults over the age of 18 are fully vaccinated. The Waterford News caught my attention because the first American Cashaps hail from County Waterford. My great-great-grand, that's just the writer here. Okay, I don't care about your personal story here. Let's see. Anyway, so this paper, the Dear Locke, on what the Irish hear and read, the elites have largely shamed their fellow citizens into acceptance or silence. Unlike America, Ireland has no effective alternative media. As a result, the range of acceptable opinions on controversial issues is as narrow as a country lane in its most orthodox moment, the Irish Catholic Church could not have been more oppressive or vengeful than the monolithic Irish cultural establishment of early 21st century. With the arrival of the stupid 19, that establishment showed the common people its teeth. As late as April 2021, Irish citizens were not allowed to travel more than 3 miles from their home. You couldn't travel more than 3 miles from your home? Jeez, I would have been in jail multiple times over. In fact, a lot of people in the United States work more than 12 miles from their home. Anyway, all schools and churches were shut down, as were all bars, restaurants, and construction sites. Wait, the bars were shut down in Ireland? I'm surprised they didn't have a complete and utter revolt. Good God. Even after Ireland eased out of these restrictions in April, travel was limited to 12 miles, and people were still not allowed to have visitors inside their homes. Fuck off. The arbitrary revolution of Irish stupid 19 policy, over the past 18 months has made it clear public health officials and government policymakers have no idea what they're doing. If proof were needed, County Waterford provides it. According to the data published on October 21st, Waterford City South has the nation's highest 14-day incident rate at 1,486 cases per 100,000. Antrimere, Waterford City West has the third highest at 1,122 cases per 100,000. This is despite internal travel bans and the country's more than 90% vaccination rate. So this kind of data is going to be showing up here. I'm just telling you. Yeah, good. There's more in the article, but you can go check it out. And the crazy lady in New Zealand has admitted she wants to create 2 classes of citizens based on Fauci jab status. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern admitted she wants to create 2 different classes of citizens based on the stupid 19 jab status. During an interview with New Zealand Herald on Friday, a reporter asked Ardern if her goal is to create 2 classes of citizens with New Zealand's traffic light system, which Ardern unveiled Friday morning, which let's just listen to her. This is...
So you basically said this is going to be like, well, it's almost like, you probably don't see it like this, the 2 different classes of people. If you're vaccinated or if you're unvaccinated, you have all these rights. If you are vaccinated...
That is what it is, so yep.
Can you describe, as you were previously hoping not to have to do that, I guess, when we still looked like we could maintain elimination across the whole country. I guess that has now changed because...
I think it was less because necessarily of the elimination determining that, and more because we, of course, maintained, and actually we have managed very high vaccination rates generally without the use of certificates. But actually what it's become clear to me is that they're not just a tool to drive up vaccines, they're a tool for confidence. People who have been vaccinated will want to know that they're around other vaccinated people. They want to know that they're in a safe environment. It is a way that we can give confidence to those who are going back into hospitality or events. And so that is something that I think we should offer to people who have been vaccinated, that confidence that we're doing everything we can to keep them safe and that they can come back out and start enjoying those things safely.
Confidence, whatever. So apparently they came up with, here's what the certificates that have been implemented at Murray, places of worship, events, gyms, and hospitality venues. They will be able to operate without limits or restrictions under green or orange. There will be some restrictions under red. The report states venues that got out of the certificates will be subject to heavy restrictions. So yeah, this is their traffic light system. So it will end lockdowns when 90% of the eligible population is vaccinated. And then they'll have vaccine certificates are expected to be widely used under the new system as well. And then, so under the green level, the restriction, they're still going to, here's this, look, they're still going to have restrictions under this green level. Hospitality up to 100 people based on 1 meter physical distancing, seated and separated. This is the green restrictions. Gatherings, for example, weddings, places of worship, up to 100 people based on 1 meter physical distancing. Events, indoor and outdoor, indoor and outdoor. This is not, is she following tell me if she's following the science here. Indoor, or it's New Zealand. That's whatever. They've gone fascist too. Indoor, outdoor, up to 100 people based on 1 meter physical distancing, seated and separate. If they have to be seated though, up to 100 people seated and separated. Close contact businesses, face coverings for staff, 1 meter distancing between customers, gyms, up to 100 people based on physical distancing. How are you going to have, if you're in the gym, you need a spotter? How's that going to work? I don't know. Now, under the orange level, these restrictions will be hospitality, contactless only, gatherings up to 50 people, and events indoors or outdoors, gyms and closed contact business will not be able to operate at all. And I don't see the red, but red means you can't do any of that shit probably. Let's go. It's the Great Reset, people. Oh, did I say that out loud too? Gosh, I'm having a problem. All right. Now let's move on to a couple other subjects and then we'll get the hell out of Dodge. Josh Hawley is demanding Merrick Garland to resign. Dangerous abuse of authority. Senator Josh Hawley, Republican of Missouri, called on Attorney General Merrick Garland to resign on Friday after Garland admitted that his memo directing the FBI to crack down on, quote, harassment, end quote, at school board meetings was sparked by an interest group complaint not backed by statistical data. True. Merrick Garland mobilized the FBI to intimidate parents without legal basis, and we now know, premised on misinformation he didn't bother to verify, it was a dangerous abuse of authority that has badly compromised the Justice Department's integrity, and Garland, he should resign. So anyway, there's a whole letter here, and it's funny. Remember, we've read this letter from the National School Board Association. It's probably in the next article, but they seem to be walking back what they said. We'll get into that in a second. National School Board walks back letter comparing parents to domestic terrorists after bombshell emails expose the White House collaboration. What's that? What do they call that? What were they calling that? Collusion. Wasn't that collusion? Hi, Bishop. How you doing? The nation's largest school board association apologized Friday for sending President Joe Biden a letter comparing parents to domestic terrorists. The National School Board Association issued a memo apologizing for the letter and the process within which it was published. The memo was sent out to NSBA members from the NSBA board, which was unaware that the original letter was sent to the White House. What do you mean you were unaware? Oh, just the members didn't know. Here's the letter. On behalf of the NSBA, we regret and apologize for the letter. To be clear, the safety of school board members and other public officials and educators and students is our top priority, and there remains important work to be done on this issue. The letter reads, we apologize also for the strain and stress this situation has caused you and your organization. I don't give a shit about the organization. How about the parents you smeared? You shitheads. So, emails obtained by the Parents Defending Education, a concerned parents organization whose leaders were among those dubbed domestic terrorists, uncovered that the NSBA was in communication with the White House for several weeks before the letter dropped. So they gave him some talking points. Hello, Merle Davis. According to the same emails, NSBA's CEO Chip Slavin and President Viola Garcia sent a letter to the White House without the approval of the organization's board. The original letter said to the Biden administration requested the assistance of the federal government in dealing with allegedly unruly parents at school board meetings. So we saw that. But anyway, so now makes me wonder. Ooh, it makes me wonder. What the fuck is this? Get off my screen. What the hell did this come from? We're going to move on anyway. Oh, this is a pop-up? Get off of my screen. All right. Let's move on. What was that? Why can't I see anything? Okay, we got them walking back the letter. Okay, and there's editorial of the New York Post, Attorney General Merrick Garland must call off the war on parents. Well, here's the problem. Now that the National School Board Association is backing off on those claims, do you think that now Merrick Garland also will back off and the president will back off on using the terrorist parents talking point like he did in that stupid fake-ass town hall he did the other night? It's time for Attorney General Merrick Garland to retract his memo sicking the FBI onto mom and dads. Now that the National School Board Association has recanted the scurrilous letter, which he admitted was the sole basis for his decision to treat parents as domestic terrorists, he must call off the dogs. Yes, he should. Whoops. Wrong button. There, let's put that there. Anyway, you can read that. It just makes sense that, they walked it back? Oh, maybe you should walk it back too, biatch. All right. Now, let's move on. So, Benny Thompson, he's the chairman of that January 6th committee. Listen to this idiot. No question, Capitol riot was a premeditated attack. By the way, did anyone see that Rolling Stone article this weekend? That bullshit. Talking about how some of the organizers of the protest had talked to some Congress people and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure you're gonna hear more and more about it, and I'm sure this has something to do with Benny Thompson saying this today. Okay. Because people were in contact with each other. They planned a riot? Is that the line of thought? Is that the logic you're going with there? So here's on Face the Nation. Here's a partial transcript. I'll just read this. Margaret Brennan. Wait, let's see.
We want to turn now to the investigation into
too much. Here's part of it. So Margaret Brennan, this is the woman who interviewed Benny Thompson. I'd like viewers to listen to a portion of Steve Bannon's podcast from the day before the riot. And then she has Steve Bannon saying, all hell's going to break loose tomorrow. It's going to be moving. It's going to be quick. All I can say is strap in. The war room, a posse. You've made this happen, and it's game day. Brennan asks Benny Thompson, how premeditated was this attack? Benny Thompson, well, I guess there's no question. Clearly, the direction of the committee is to look at that premeditation to make sure that we identify it. But wait a minute, to make sure that you identify it, you mean so you have to definitely identify it, as opposed to if we can identify it, if it's there. But it continues. But the worst kept secret in America is that Donald Trump invited individuals to come to Washington on January 6th. He said all hell would break loose. Wait, Donald Trump said that? Anyway, Steve Bannon was part of the conversation and the promotion of January 6th. The very podcast we just listened to talks about it. Steve Bannon was in the war room, and he was in the Willard Hotel doing a lot of things. So that's why we subpoenaed him. That's why we felt it was important for the committee and staff to depose him. And as you saw, he refused to participate. Well, good, because he's in contempt of Congress. I find Congress in contempt too. Anyway, so he says, no question, the riot was a premeditated attack. Well, by who though? By people who actually rioted, or maybe the feds that were interspersed in that group? Just curious. All right. Hey, good news on the southern border. Massive new caravan of migrants are headed from Mexico to the U.S. southern border. There are more than 2,000 migrants in the caravan standing off from Tapachula, Mexico, some carrying American flags and signs with President Biden's name. Yes! You want to bring thank you cards for President Biden, and so you put them, they have special signs with your group. A massive new wave of immigrants from various countries is now making its way through Mexico toward the southern border of the United States. The Biden administration has sent a very clear message to the rest of the world that America's back door is wide open, and people are responding. Adam Shaw and Griff Jenkins reported at Fox News a massive and organized migrant caravan is on its way from the southern Mexico toward the U.S. and has already surged past a blockade by Mexican forces attempting to stop it from getting to the U.S.-Mexican border. Organizers tell Fox News, hasn't anyone told them that Fox News is racist? Racist?
That's racist!
Anyway, they said there are more than 2,000 in the caravan setting off from Tapachula. So, and then whatever. The caravan is not merely a group of migrants congregating together. Organizers made migrants who wished to participate in the caravan to register with a QR code on their phones and a web link to participate. God damn, they're more high tech than our border patrol right now. Anyway, okay, that's being facetious. I was just making a joke there. Here. Anyway, within hours, the flood of migrants encountered the wall of Mexican interior police wearing protective gear and wielding shields, but the security did not hold as migrants forced their way through the blockade and continued on their way to try and seek entry into the U.S. interior. So here's just a short video of them. That would be that'd be quite a group trying to get in here. So anyway, we're not going to watch it again. All right, moving on. Got some time left. We'll get through some of these. The Dems push for federal control of all elections is going nowhere. The H.R. 1 bill is, I would have to say, unless there's a miracle that the Maverick and the senator from West Virginia have a major change of heart, is that H.R. 1's going nowhere. Now they're offering a bill, though, they've dubbed the Freedom to Vote Act, because, you know, it's always great when they make names like this, as if you don't have freedom to vote now. Though a more honest name would be Freedom to Cheat Act. Democrats say it's new, but it's really just a fresh face for the same federal takeover. Anyway, I don't want to go through this, but the article, it will be in the tabs. I have a few Breitbart stories here. Barack Obama calls the outcry over Loudoun County rape cover-up phony, trumped-up culture war. The president campaigned for former Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe on Saturday, urging voters to dismiss controversial issues raised by parents of children in public schools. Yes, let's just disregard questions from parents. This arrogant motherfucker. Parents in Virginia and around the country are furious over a report of a female student who was allegedly raped by a gender-fluid boy in a public girls' bathroom in Loudoun County, whatever that is. Loudoun, I don't know how you say it. They're even more furious after Loudoun County school system tried to cover up the assault and prosecute the victim's father for speaking out during a school board meeting. The 14-year-old was arrested in July and charged on 2 counts of forcible sodomy. Oh, they actually arrested the kid. No. And the public school, by the way, the schools knew it too. There were letters to the fucking school board telling them that we have this situation and, you know, we're trying to handle it the right way, blah, 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 blah. And then the school board pretended they didn't know what the hell this guy was talking about when he came to complain about it to the school board. Well, Obama has dismissed the recent controversies as fake outrage and trumped up culture war. Although he did not specifically refer to the incident, parents are also deeply upset by the efforts to implement critical race theory and other into this public school curriculum. We don't have time to be wasted on these phony, trumped up culture wars. This fake outrage the right wing media peddles to juice their ratings, Obama said. Anyway, if you want to catch up on the Virginia governor's race, again, it will be in the tab. Let's see, what else? This is Helena Hutchins was shot in the chest when Alec Baldwin fired that prop gun. The New York Post reports that Helena Hutchins, the 42-year-old cinematographer who Alec Baldwin shot and killed in the Rust movie set, was shot in the chest. Breitbart News noted that New Mexico Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office was investigating Hutchins' death after actor Alec Baldwin discharged a prop gun. A second individual, 48-year-old Joel Souza, was also wounded in the shooting. So there's the tweet from BNO News. Alec Baldwin fired prop gun which killed a director of photography at New Mexico film set. That's anyway. So here's the whole story. I'm sorry, lost my place there. Oh, here we go. New York Post reports. New Mexico criminal attorney Erlinda Johnson, a former state and federal prosecutor, said the Beetlejuice actor could face possible criminal liability for involuntary manslaughter. All the state needs to demonstrate is that he was engaged in a lawful but dangerous act and did not act with due caution, she said. That's what the state has to prove for involuntary manslaughter, which is a fourth degree felony with a maximum penalty of up to 18 months in prison. Is that going to happen? Does anyone think that's going to happen? I mean, it seems possible to me. I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter if it was a prop gun with blanks. You do not point any loaded gun at a human being or any gun, period, unless you're going to shoot him. Now, interesting. That's the same article. Let me close that. Alec Baldwin's gun. Now, this is interesting. Alec Baldwin's gun didn't accidentally discharge, but gun owners already know that. I just need to get this out of the way before my spleen. This is the writer saying this. As every responsible gun owner probably knows, actor Alec Baldwin's firearms discharge wasn't accidental. It was negligent. An accidental discharge happens when, for example, you pull up your pants and your gat goes off. A negligent discharge is when a gun is purposely discharged, but in a negligent manner. Like if a film crew member says, "We need to shoot that again," and you pick up your real gun and say, "How about if I shoot you two instead?" And you shoot them. The prop gun Alec Baldwin shot two people with had been accidentally or negligently discharged at least twice several days earlier, according to film crew members working on the movie Rust. Alec Baldwin's stunt double somehow discharged the gun twice on the Bonanza Creek Ranch movie set. Apparently, he was told the gun was cold, meaning it wasn't loaded with bullets or blanks. There should have been an investigation into what happened. A film crew member stated to reporters, there were no safety meetings. There was no assurances that it would not happen again. All they wanted to do was rush, and as opposed to rust, pun intended. Yeah, I'm sorry. This story bugs me. I don't care if it was blanks. And we know Brandon Lee was killed with a blank, right? So anyway, moving on, we got what's wrong with Camels. So did you guys see this? Okay, I'm just going to show you the clip, but because I didn't see this. What's going on with her arms here?
Hello, Governor. Thank you for welcoming me. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, thank you. And then, of course, the Speaker and Senate Leader Stuart Cousins. Where's she?
Why are her arms
there
moving
you
like
are.
that?
Thank you. It's good to see you all. And to Congressman Jamal Bowman, thank you for the work that you do that lift up the people of this district.
Anybody? Is this a tick that's just comes from her elbows, or what is that? Anybody? There's people questioning that, though. They're just waving around weird. And between her and Cornholio, I'm wondering what the hell's going on. What's this clip? This one's 11:06. Tell me, okay, so here's just without sound.
I have a motto.
Oh, wait, never mind.
I eat and drink no for breakfast. Don't hear it.
She's drunk. I don't know what that was. What was that? What was that? This is not the first time where I thought, is she drunk? Listen to this.
I have a motto. I eat and drink no for breakfast. Don't hear it.
Okay, what the fuck was that? It's not. Well, I don't know about meth. Does the vice president suffer from a physical ailment such as Bell's palsy that we have not been informed of? Well, I don't know. Oh wait, what? Tell me her affect as she botches a scripted line about eating no for breakfast, presumably meaning she doesn't get discouraged. Is that of a normal human being? Well, I don't know. And I don't know. I don't think she has Bell's palsy. But sometimes her facelift gets a little tight, and I don't know. So anyway, Obama campaigned for Terry McAuliffe. I don't have time to get into that, but apparently he made a bit of an ass of himself, according to this article. We've already read the one line there. Let's see. Former President Obama traveled to New Jersey on Saturday to campaign for Governor Phil Murphy and claimed that he understands why Americans are questioning when stupid 19 mandates will end. The science says it's the right thing to do, Obama said, reference to the COVID-19 mask and vaccine requirements to a crowd of Murphy's supporters in Newark. You do it because you're not just protecting yourself, but people you love, people who are vulnerable. But I don't know how folks just decide everything's got to suddenly be political. Gee, I wonder. But I understand why people want to know when this is going to end. Anyway, I have a few articles left now. I don't have time to get to them. Headline: If Obama wants America to reject the politics of meanness, why is he so mean? Oh, good question. No answer there, but that's in PJ Media. From the Daily Wire, GOP lawmaker was locked out of Twitter after calling transgender Biden official Rachel Levine a man. Oh, no! Did you see where Dr. Levine, we might have talked about this earlier. So someone here, this is Dr. Vivek Murthy, and I was curious about this too. It was an honor to witness Admiral Levine's historic appointment as the first female 4-star officer to serve as U.S. Public Health Service Commissioner something Corps, and the first openly transgender 4-star officer to serve in any of the uniformed services. First female. Look, while Dr. Levine, in using their own rules, if you want to call Dr. Levine a woman, and she wants to call herself a woman, even after living her first 54 years of life as a man, that's fine. But female, I thought female was sex, not gender, sex. Dr. Levine, whatever it is, it's not the first female 4-star. But hey, you know what? The good thing about this, it does prove that men are superior to women. Because we're breaking sports records. We were the woman of the year a few years ago with Caitlyn Jenner. Now the first woman to be a 4-star general are all have those something chromosome shit. Anyway. So anyway, they locked him out of Twitter for calling someone that was born and lived as a man for 54 years the first female 4-star officer is an insult to every little girl who dreams of breaking glass ceilings one day. Well, there's a shortcut to it. Is just, transition and whatever. The whole tweet is just, it's like, are there rules to this or not? Because I was told that sex and gender were two different things. Didn't hear you could actually change your sex, even though they call it a sex change operation back in the day. It's not really changing your sex. It's just cutting you up and using surgery to make it look like never mind. And no disrespect to transgender people either. That's not what I'm saying. If you want to live your life, live your life. And but there's certain facts you can't change. I don't know. It's just weird that they made such a big deal about that. Anyway, and then of course Glenn Kessler gave 0 Pinocchios to Biden's outright border visit live. Of course, because come on. You can read about that. Turns out it was a brief drive-by, not the kind of sustained visit that critics are demanding. It's almost like counting a refueling stop as a visit to a country. But it's enough that we will leave this unrated, Kessler concluded in his fact check. Oh, God. Because you don't want to contradict the Biden administration. All right, I'm not even, there's several. The Let's Go Brandon challenge has gone viral on TikTok, where people are all making their own different videos of Let's Go Brandon. Now, interesting. Apparently, some of these are being taken down by TikTok because you're not supposed to be able to make fun of dear leader. Here, let's check this one.
Let's go, Brandon. Hey. Let's go, Brandon. Hey.
Okay, so there's people out there having fun with the Let's Go Brandon challenge. They're supposed to make a TikTok video using the Let's Go Brandon song. Hopefully I don't get a flag for that. Now the Biden administration's finally admitted they've left more than 100 Americans in Afghanistan. Maybe we'll get into that one tomorrow. Also, the weird thing about that town hall when Biden said we will defend Taiwan if China attacks, and then his White House staff almost in real time fact checked him on Twitter, and then this is an interesting dilemma here, but there's also an article that China is calling Biden's bluff on Taiwan. So interesting pair of articles, and then. The Great Barrier Reef is quickly growing, by the way, because remember climate change was supposed to kill that off. There's an article about that. And then just to finish up, I did want to show you this one, though. Did Saturday Night Live just admit Biden's mental status in question? Far left NBC show can't avoid what we're all seeing from the commander-in-chief. Saturday Night Live is still pulling punches when it comes to the president of the United States. We've watched the sketch series sugarcoat the first 9 months of Joe Biden's administration, a stark contrast to how Saturday Night Live treated the previous White House dweller. Some shows barely mentioned the commander-in-chief up until now. Others saved their sharpest barbs for GOP-related targets, but not this weekend. You can go into this article and watch the cold open, but they open with President Biden lamenting his horrendous poll numbers. He gets a boost from the 2013 version of Joe Biden, played by former Saturday Night Live standout Jason Sudeikis. The 2013 model tries to cheer up the despondent Biden. How could you be me? You seem happy, so carefree. So what's the word I'm looking for? The current Biden asks. Lucid, Sudeikis version barks in delight. Let that sink in. Saturday Night Live's admitting what we're all seeing, but what the press and late night comedians don't dare mention. President Biden has lost something important, like part of his brain. Now, and then they talk about them lying about Biden going to the border. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. I gotta really run. So sorry about the abrupt ending here, but I gotta thank all of you for being here today. Before you go, hit the like button. There's a lot more people here than there are likes. Hit the like button before you go. And if you would be so kind, share the stream before, during, after the stream. You could also, if you're here on replay or watching the replay, just say hi in the comment section so I know that you were here. I like to say hi back sometimes, and you can't do it if I don't know you were here. And finally, you can sponsor the show by watching the show on PDawgKnight.live. The Streamlabs link is up in the upper right-hand corner, makes it one-stop shopping. There's other ways to do that, but thank you for our sponsors today, Baby Vaso and Chicago Mike. Appreciated as always. I'll be here tomorrow because I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. And sometime this week, I will do a makeup show. Not as in like a makeup tutorial show, but a makeup show for the show we missed last week. Now, just the last little, let's see, I had a little programming note on that, and I can't remember what it was. But we'll do the makeup show. What was the other one? I can't remember. And I'm going to remember as soon as I sign off. I know I'm going to remember it as soon as I sign off. Oh, well, there's my boomer moment of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming here today. I got to go. My name's PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.